Today I want to talk about something deeply human, the 40 days Jesus spent in the wilderness. Before the miracles, before the crowds, before the ministry, there was the wilderness. In the Gospels of Matthew and Luke, we're told that Jesus fasted for 40 days and was tempted in the desert. This happened immediately after his baptism, after the heavens opened, after the voice from heaven said, "This is my beloved Son." And then, silence, isolation, testing. I think that surprises people, because we often assume that when God calls us, things should get easier, clearer, more supported. But sometimes the opposite happens, and that doesn't mean you've missed God. It may mean you are being strengthened. Let's look right now at the 3 temptations, not as ancient drama, but as deeply relevant soul lessons. The first temptation was this: turn these stones into bread. Jesus had been fasting. He was physically hungry. This wasn't random. It was a temptation to meet a real need in the wrong way. How often does that happen to us? We feel hungry for success, hungry for love, hungry for recognition, hungry for relief, and the temptation whispers, just fix it quickly, take the shortcut, force the outcome. But not every hunger is meant to be immediately fed. Some seasons build spiritual endurance. Sometimes restraint develops authority. The wilderness teaches us that we are sustained by more than what is visible. So here's a gentle question. Where in your life are you trying to turn stones into bread? Where are you rushing what may need ripening? The second temptation: throw yourself down. Prove that God will catch you. This was about spectacle, performance, providing divine protection. And this one feels very modern. How often are we tempted to perform our faith instead of embodying it? To prove we're blessed, to prove we're chosen, to prove we're supported. But faith is not a performance, it's alignment. You don't need to test God to know you're held. You don't need to create drama to prove destiny. There is something deeply powerful about quiet obedience, quiet growth, quiet strengthening. Where in your life are you tempted to perform instead of simply trust? The third temptation: all of this can be yours. Power, influence, authority. But without integrity, without process, without surrender. This is the temptation of shortcuts. Success without soul, elevation without preparation. And sometimes the hardest thing isn't resisting evil. It's resisting almost right. Resisting good opportunities that are not God opportunities. Not all elevation is divine promotion. Some is ego inflation. And the wilderness clarifies that. The number 40 in Scripture symbolizes purification and preparation. Moses was on Mount Sinai for 40 days. The flood in Noah's time lasted 40 days. The Israelites wandered 40 years before entering the Promised Land. 40 represents transition, the space between who you were and who you are becoming. And here's what comforts me most. Even Jesus had a wilderness. So if you are in one, you're not failing. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You may be becoming. The wilderness is not punishment. It is preparation. It is where identity is secured. It is where ego quiets. It is where calling deepens. And notice something beautiful. After the temptations, Scripture says angels came and ministered to him. Support came. Strength came. Provision came. But it came after the testing. If you are in a quiet season right now, if you feel like things went silent after you said yes to God, maybe you are not abandoned. Maybe you are being fortified. Maybe heaven is strengthening your roots so your impact doesn't uproot you later. The wilderness is not where God leaves you. It's where God forms you. And what forms you in private sustains you in public. Take heart. The wilderness has an end, and it always leads somewhere purposeful. Be gentle with yourself. Keep going. Follow your soul. Follow your heart.